Kat Iniba, and welcome back to Halo Halo. Before the break, we chatted with award-winning director Jeffrey Gee Chin. He is actually going to be at a special event September 13th, Long Beach Comic-Con. He's here to tell us a little bit more. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Now, you are going to be a special panelist at Long Beach Comic-Con, right? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So we've been accepted as part of a film festival called Geek Fest LA, and we'll be showcasing our film, Star Wars Musical, which we worked with wonderful composer George Shaw, who you actually had a chance to interview.
Yeah, we interviewed him, and we talked about Star Wars Musical, actually. So did you directed and worked with him on that project?
Yeah, so that was a really fun project. It was dealing with actors in front of green screen, but then all the backgrounds were 2D hand-painted images of what would have been Disney-fied Star Wars.
Right.
But I guess you can see that in December as well.
Yeah. Now that's a little bit different from your films, right? It's a little lighter, more fun.
I've always had a real interest in, of course, telling an immigrant story. But you know, it was a really busy semester at USC, and I needed something that was a bit lighter. And so that's when we did Star Wars Musical. The same semester I did Anastasia's Journey.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of USC, I heard that you worked on a film. I don't know if I could say with who, but can you?
We just finished working on a feeture film with James Franco.
Okay.
I was a second unit director and visual effects supervisor.
Wow.
And so it's based on one of his books. And I think that's about as much as I can talk about right now.
That's all you can say. Well, okay, so did you work with James Franco?
I had a chance to direct him myself, and he was wonderful to work with.
He was, okay. You're also working on another feature film. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I'm working on two, technically.
Two, okay. Oh, that's right, you are.
So one of the films that I've been developing for a while is doing research on New York Chinatown. A story about one of the early women to graduate with a PhD from Columbia University. And she was a sort of landmark, like, woman warrior during her time. And her father was a leader of Chinatown, and he was the mayor. And during the Tang Wars in the 1920s, he ends up passing away during one of the meetings where he's trying to get everyone together. And so his daughter, with such a great education, actually comes back from some of her travels. She was doing research out in Europe and has to build a Christian mission in his honor, but also become a community leader during that time. My grandfather, who's been a great inspiration to me, became one of her mentees, and she played a mother figure to a lot of these young bachelor men.
At such a young age, right? In her 20s. So have you talked to your grandfather about this?
No, because he passed away in 2001.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. But what I discovered was he actually spent many years archiving these personal letters and journals that this woman had written.
Wow, so were you able to retrieve all of that?
So I'm in the process of, you know, using that research to develop something very interesting. So.
Okay, so more details to come on that as well, right?
And we're also doing a bunch more work with Seifu Ji, the man it's Little Tokyo Reporter is based on.
That's right.
We built a lantern in Little Tokyo right next to Little Tokyo Cosmetics, so please check it out when you get a chance.
Yeah, now how did that come about? How did that all happen?
So Little Tokyo Historical Society sponsored Little Tokyo Reporter, and so we'd been doing a bunch of research on Seifu Ji. We're working on publishing a book right now, but also we thought, he's such a significant community leader. Some people said he's like a Martin Luther King or Cesar Chavez of his time. In fact, he came before Martin Luther King or Cesar Chavez to, you know, build one of the first hospitals for the Japanese American community, but also overturn the California Alien Land Law, which now allows all immigrants to own land in California. So that was a big deal.
Oh, I did not know that.
So we built an 8-foot monument in his honor, and I had met Seifu Ji's actual granddaughter in Yamaguchi Prefecture, Japan. So his descendants from one of his marriages, and so she was so wonderful, and so I wanted to see what they had in the area, and they had these wonderful lanterns. And so we took that design and used it to inspire like a metal lantern that will work as sort of like a beacon for the next generation of activists who live in Little Tokyo.
I love it. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Maybe a feature film or in the works?
There's a feature film in the works.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you have a lot of work coming up, right? Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Well, thank you for having me.
For more information on Jeffrey Gee Chin, make sure to check out his website that you see on the screen, and he will be one of the panelists at Long Beach Comic Con happening September 13th. All the information is on his website. Time for a quick break, but we have more entertainment and lifestyle news when we return.